We regularly see headlines about billionaires, celebrated artists, or public figures who suddenly collapse into scandal, suffer mental breakdowns, or meet tragic ends. The reflex is to assume that immense wealth, elevated status, and a pristine public reputation act as a shield. We treat bank accounts and social standing as guarantees against life's brutal impacts. But real-world data and observation prove otherwise. When exposed to high stress or extreme public scrutiny, that external armor routinely shatters, offering zero actual protection. This structural comparison model illustrates a counterintuitive reality. Over here is a massive but hollow sphere representing a high-status individual. Next to it is a small, completely solid core representing a person living with minimal resources. The person living in relative poverty often possesses a dense, impenetrable psychological fortitude that the high-status individual completely lacks. Inner resilience is a matter of structural engineering, not surface decoration. A society obsessed with aesthetic achievements consistently misdiagnoses what actually keeps a human being standing. To understand why the structure fails, look at the outer shell. This shell consists of everything visible to the public: the economic status, the job titles, and the carefully curated reputation. Look at this architectural blueprint. A morally corrupt, parasitic, or entirely dependent person can easily construct a flawless exterior. They build an aesthetic of success, completely disconnected from the rotting scaffolding hiding right behind it. They deploy specific masks to project strength to the crowd. A person might adopt loud religious piety, performative political idealism, or high-profile charity work to signal their virtue. Yet behind those masks, the psychological reality is bleak. Despite sitting at the top of the social hierarchy, these individuals suffer from a debilitating lack of genuine self-respect. Because the exterior can be hacked, purchased, or faked entirely, outward prestige is a mathematically useless metric for predicting internal stability. Real self-respect operates as a quiet, unseen engine. It is forged through strict self-reliance and extreme frugality. When someone proves they can survive on meager means, without becoming financially parasitic or morally dependent on anyone else, they generate an unshakable proof of their own competence. This chart maps external social approval against internal self-assessment. Notice this data point here. The individual has reached maximum social approval, but their internal assessment sits exactly at 0. This highlights the difference between losing the crowd's respect and your own. Watch how the structure responds. Society's pressure is repelled by a strong inner core. However, the moment you fall in your own eyes, the entire foundation of self-confidence disintegrates. This creates a terrifying paradox. A person can be universally worshipped by millions of people, yet live completely paralyzed by their own internal weakness and lack of self-belief. The applause of the crowd carries no structural weight. Your internal judgment of yourself is the sole load-bearing pillar keeping you upright. Eventually, a severe crisis, acute hardship, or unpredictable disaster inevitably strikes. During those moments of maximum external pressure, public reputation and material wealth provide absolutely zero structural support. They are simply not designed to bear psychological loads. Because the individual has spent their life hiding a brittle mentality behind a polished mask, there is nothing inside to absorb the kinetic energy of the crisis. They break from within. This total internal collapse is exactly why we see highly prestigious individuals driven to drastic, irreversible acts, including taking their own lives when circumstances turn against them. To build genuine resilience, you must stop pouring your time and energy into polishing the outer shell of social approval. The metrics of public success do not map to survival. True psychological fortitude requires constructing a quiet, resilient inner life based on self-reliance, moral integrity, and deep independence. When you build that solid core, it guarantees that no matter what the world thinks, you never fall in your own eyes.